All right, I made a mistake. I gotta tell you. So this is my first experience post bariatric where I ate something I shouldn't have, and I did not feel good at all. Fortunately, I didn't throw up, but I worked a picnic for my school. I'm the president of this group called affinity groups, and I tabled at a picnic at my school, and they had all these tables lined up with tons of well, I'm from New Orleans, so what they said in New Orleans, they called them po' boys. Here they call them hoagies, with these submarine sandwiches. They had tables and tables with piles of them, all freshly made, and they looked really good. And I thought, okay, so I'm on the pureed diet. If I don't eat the bread, if I just take the insides out and chew it really good, then that should work. One of them was even chicken pesto, and the chicken was chopped very finely. But that's not pureed. And ouch. I ended up having to throw them out because even just a little bit that I ate, I was so nauseous. And I felt like I was going to explode. So, yeah, you really. This is some of the advice that has been offered by friends of mine that have had this diet, and they say the trick is following the rules. You just gotta stay following the rules. So I didn't. It wasn't pureed. It wasn't the consistency of applesauce, and I had some, and it was like I said. I got lucky that I didn't vomit, but I was nauseous for a while. My son was with me, and he's like, "Are you supposed to be eating that, Dad?" Like, yeah, as long as I chew it up well. Nope, wasn't supposed to be eating it. Not gonna do that again. I learned my lesson. I'm sure something will happen again in my future because you're learning a whole new way. I'm 54 years old. I've been doing things the same way for the last 54 years, at least the last 51 years. um, and I will try and watch what I do and make sure that I stay on the appropriate diet that I'm supposed to be on. Um, Kind of at a standstill on weight loss. My total is 35 pounds since I started the journey of doing the shake diet 1 month prior to surgery. So that was July 5th, the last day I ate regular food. And to today, which is August 22nd, I've lost 35 pounds. People say they notice it in my face. I'm like, great, I want you to notice it in my gut. But yeah, I'm losing the weight. It's coming off slowly, which they say, it stays off. But with a surgery like this, I imagine it's going to stay off regardless, as long as I don't go crazy and blow my stomach up. I have no intention of wanting to do that. Like when I did eat the inappropriate insides of the sandwich, I wasn't trying to indulge in a sandwich. I knew I couldn't eat the bread, and I didn't even have the desire to. And I wasn't trying to overeat. I was just trying to enjoy the food that everybody else was able to enjoy. That's the hard part for me, is being able to accept that I'm not like everybody else now, that I cannot eat like everybody else, not even in small amounts. I took my son in the last day and a half back to school at Notre Dame, and I took him out to breakfast yesterday morning, and I presented my little card. I have a card. Let me see if I have it here with me. I do. So I've been given a card by my surgeon, if I can get it out. So this is my little card because I had it done at the VA. And then it says on the back here that the patient listed has had a surgical procedure which decreases the capacity of the stomach. They cannot eat an adult-sized meal. Please honor with a smaller serving. So this is to allow me to eat off a child's menu at places that have age restrictions. I pulled out my card when I went to this little diner and showed it to the hostess, and she's like, "Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about it." And she gave me a children's menu. And basically, I ordered scrambled eggs with a little bit of cheese on them. And that's okay. That's on the diet. And I did well. I didn't overeat them. It was very small. I asked for one egg. I couldn't eat it all. But my stomach felt good after that, and I was able to sit at the table and eat with him. I will tell you that one of the hardest things for me, now, not everybody has the same problem, but one of the hardest things for me is the no drinking 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after a meal. You sit down at a restaurant, they come to your table, and the first thing you ask is, what would you like to drink? And I'm like, okay, well, I don't drink soda, I don't drink juices. I have water and I have unsweetened iced tea with a little bit of Splenda. So it's sure I'll have iced tea. And it came to the table and I took a sip and I go, oof, I am not supposed to be drinking for 30 minutes before eating. So I put my drink down and I didn't have any. Did the same with coffee. It's just a habit. It's really hard to overcome because that's the order in which things happen when you go to a restaurant. First thing is, what can we get you to drink? Well, if you're thirsty, you can't. You can't drink. If you plan on eating at that restaurant, you cannot drink. So that's a hard thing for me. Not because I want it, but because it's a habit. It's ingrained in me. So that's one of the things that I'm going to fight to overcome. That's probably one of the hardest things. I've started taking my vitamins now. Not so bad. I bought, this is my calcium. I think I've showed this before, soft chews. They're really quite tasty. It's easy to take them. I take them 3 times a day, so I'm glad they're not chalky. The ones the VA gave me were chalky. And my VA rep said, "Go. You probably won't like these. Go ahead and order yourself some online. Just make sure that it's calcium citrate and then it's got vitamin D." So I did that. And those are going down okay. Everything else, like, melt on your tongue. The hardest part is that you got to space them all out. You can't just take them all at one time. When I took my meds, I took them all at one time. Can't do that anymore. By the way, I'm completely off all of my meds. No valsartan, which is an ARB. It's a blood pressure medicine. I don't take that anymore. I don't take metformin anymore for diabetes. I don't take my long-acting and short-acting insulin anymore. I don't take anything. I used to take long-term NSAIDs for pain in my back and knee. And I'll honestly say that I really haven't had pain in my back and knee. So I'm not missing that. That was a COX-2. It was called Celebrex. And I would take something else. I can't remember what it was called. It's Progabalin, but it's got a Lyrica. I would take that also for like nerve pain. I'm not taking that either. So basically, I take no big farm medicines. I only take vitamins. And that makes me so happy. It's one of the reasons I wanted this surgery, not to look good. Well, yeah, I mean, that's, as they say in New Orleans, that's lagniappe, or icing on the cake. But I wanted to be off of the meds. They kept adding more meds and more meds because I was not a well person. So I said, enough. We're not adding any more meds. I'm going to get this surgery and I'm going to get off these meds. And guess what? I'm off the meds. I have a continuous glucose monitor on the back of my arm right now. You might be able to see that right there. And 135 is my glucose right now. It stays within range. And I'm very pleased about that. I don't need to be medicated to have good blood sugar. So there you have it, folks. That's my check-in for today. Problems were drinking with eating the wrong things, and off my meds. There's the highlights. All right. Thank you. Peace out.